Comrade, here we are in the National Museum in Nairobi. The situation in Africa is very unsettling. There is a huge imperialist involvement now. The West is regrouping. There is what we can call neo-colonialism all over, taking roots all over Africa. What can you say on that topic?
I think the most important thing to start with, up to now, there is still that negative propaganda done by the Western press. Africa is still portrayed in grim images: hunger, Ebola, starvation, violence, corruption, failing regimes, even when they are the most positive one. Really, nothing positive is ever reported. If anything positive is reported, it is, for example, like the Kenyans are portrayed like they are Maasais, as if we are all Maasais in Kenya, and Maasais are seen just as part of the wildlife, which is just known anything positive known in Kenya, wildlife, and also athletics, running. So it is very, very important with these grim villages. When you come to the wider aspects of it, they want to portray in the West that African are failing states. Even when the French interfere with what in Mali and Central African Republic and cause a lot of disruption there, they still say, they blame it on the African. Even people who are dictators, for example, like Kagame of Rwanda, who is butchering his own people, where there's a lot of dictatorship. He's the one who's showing that one is the man who's succeeding. He has so many women in the cabinet. He has a very stable economy, which is growing. But the corruption within the Rwanda regime, for example, is not portrayed even.
And of course, killing in Democratic Republic of Congo.
And then when it goes also a lot of massacres done by the Rwandese government and before even the Ugandan government in Democratic Republic of Congo, and which is destabilizing every day. This is tolerated and it is allowed to continue. Regimes which are really trying to give true independence, even land to their people, like the one in Zimbabwe. Robert Mugabe is one of the least corrupt presidents in Africa, and the man who's very patriotic, really.
And he was re-elected.
He was elected very democratically. He's still portrayed as a dictator, and a lot of sanctions are even done against him, and so forth.
There is a lot of negative propaganda against South Africa as well.
Again, now even South Africa is being portrayed as pessimism. That every day dictatorship is growing in South Africa. There is nothing positive happening. And yet during the apartheid regime, these people would not even report on those things. And a lot of things really, apart from the problems which are in South Africa has achieved a lot of things for their people up to now. When it comes into even housing, health services, even equality, and all strides are continuing in achievement in South Africa. But these are not always reported in the positive way.
Is it because South Africa is actually a socialist country in many ways?
Very much, all of them, because they are socialist-oriented countries. For example, like even not only South Africa, but even countries like Eritrea, which is really trying to have really self-independence. The only country which refuses foreign aid, saying we want self-reliance.
They want teachers, they want know-how, they want teachers, they want doctors, but not money.
This is not money. This country is being portrayed very negatively. So there is hardly anything positive now is seen in Africa. But then I wanted to say, really, apart from all problems which are found everywhere, still there is a lot of optimism in Africa regimes. Apart from the problems, there is still, of course, we don't refuse. We have not yet acquired democracy completely everywhere. We have not also, there is still violation of human rights somewhere. We also even say corruption is still there. But that is not, but still there is optimism. The African masses, the African people have woken up, and we can really say history is being made positively
Do you think there is a chance that Africa will go in the direction of Patrice Lumumba, who wanted to use natural resources of the country to improve the life of the people? Do you think Africans are waking up and they are demanding this sort of government and this sort of direction?
In fact, that's what happened. And you know, suddenly, that's why there was this assassination of
Patrice Lumumba.
Patrice Lumumba, and even later on of the Kabila, Laurent Kabila. That is the father of the present president of Joseph Kabila. Laurent Kabila was assassinated by Kagame and Museveni, and with the connivance of the United States of America and with the connivance of Europeans, simply because he refused that the natural resources of the Democratic Republic of Congo should be used for the people of the Congo. And this is awakening coming even in Zimbabwe. I can see positively, and I'm very happy because now it is being used as an example, because when it comes to resources, Africa has a lot of natural resources, but they hardly benefit from their natural resources. Multinationals say that they are going to pay Africa 3%, and to the maximum 5% for any natural resources they made. So up to now, Africa does not make money from their natural resources.
Are we still living in some sort of colonialist society? Are the European and North American governments and companies still controlling this continent?
Yes, very much. Actually, if you make research on the natural resources, whether you are talking about oil and anything to do energy, or you are taking mineral resources, you still see for that the direct investments which come to Africa, they are actually colonial. Because and I was glad even that matter was raised by the president of Gambia recently, and even in Zimbabwe, they are trying to battle to solve this, because the multinationals demand that we are coming to do investment in minerals, in oil, but we are only going to give you 3% of your resources.
What is the most optimistic country on the African continent? What is the country that could be used as an example for progressive development of the continent?
I think when we are talking about progressive, from the perspective of the peoples, one, of course, when I'm a Kenyan, and from the people of Kenya, because of the resistance of the people of Kenya, and we are fighting also positive, the people are fighting for positive change and demanding more and more rights for the masses of Kenya to control more of the wealth. I say Kenya is among them. But then really, countries like Zimbabwe, with that nationalistic, patriotic leadership committed to their people and giving the resources, land and the minerals to their people, and even investment on the right of the people, those I can say they are very optimistic. Even countries, you can say, countries like Eritrea. And then, of course, one of the countries which I have visited recently, and I've seen a lot of positive things happening in Africa, is Algeria. Algeria is the largest country in Africa now, after Sudan was split into two. But you can see in terms of infrastructure development, housing, roads, agriculture, education, these countries are using even their natural resources and developing very positively. Algeria is now even has the largest oil reserves, money reserves in the world. They have more than $250 billion reserves. They have even lent money to International Monetary Fund, 50 billion. Algeria has also helped many countries in the region by even forgiving their aid, 14 African countries. So you can see there's a lot of positive development happening even in Algeria as it go.
Are you still inspired by South Africa?
Pardon?
Are you still inspired by South Africa?
Inspired by South Africa because the people of South Africa are very resilient. Even together with what you can say, criticism done against Jacob Zuma. But still it is in a democratic, open society where things are done very positive, where they allow a lot of freedom of movement. You can't compare anything with what you can see in the United States of America, where you are just imprisoned for a lot of flimsy reasons for your views, and where you only parade only two political parties of the capitalist system, Democratic Party and Republican Party, and you pretend there is democracy everywhere. In fact, according to the Kenyans who are now coming from the United States of America, they are now saying, why should not the United States of America help its own people first before pretending to help other people outside? Why now plan and export a lot of war instead of trying to export a lot of peace and a lot of health to the rest of the world?